Hello, world. Welcome back. It's been a minute. Uh, we've had a very busy summer, but we're back in business here. Welcome back to the Wanderers Guild, the Forbidden Lands, the Hanging Stones, episode 43. Let me zoom back the map here. I just realized that it's not very visible in the overlay. We need more. We need more. That's not more. That's just smaller. All right. There we go. There we go. All right. When last we left our heroes, we have been traveling our way westward towards the Thinned Mountains and a legendary fortress known as the Eye of the Rose, which I think in the caption of the stream I called Heart of the Rose, but it is definitely not called that. I was thinking of Heartstones. So the Eye of the Rose, we're looking for an old ruined elven fort where supposedly the ruler of the Urher clan of orcs is in possession of one of the fabled Heartstones of legend that go into the Crown Stanengist. So, we are seeking one of the lost Heartstones, hoping to find it in the Eye of the Rose. The peaks of the Thinned Mountains have just come into view as the party is traveling westward. Last session, the party traveled along the northern shores of Lake Varda on the southern edges of the Dankwood, crossed two rivers, and witnessed the aftermath of a shipwreck massacre out on the lake and rescued a noble from the wreckage, whose name is Permodius Penn. There was some debate as to whether to risk rescuing him and risk angering the mire drake that dwells beneath the surface of the lake. After, I won't even call it debate, the party just straight up disagreed, and some people went to rescue him while everybody else was pissed about it. But we did rescue him, and fortunately did not awaken the mire drake in the process, and he was very grateful. He told you that his lord, Duke Godfried of the House of Three Stars, dwells in a great castle to the northwest of you, somewhere up further through the Dankwood, and that he would gladly reward you with riches for rescuing his emissary. But then Permodius decided to continue on his journey down towards Belderan to meet with the dwarven nobility there. And so he set off to continue his journey, wishing you fair travels. And the party continued on its merry way in the direction of the Thinned Mountains, which you can now see the peaks of poking up. You have been told that somewhere in the southern reaches of the Thinned Mountains lies the Eye of the Rose. You know a bit about it. You also know that Kalman Rodenfell and the Red Runners are planning some sort of attack on the fortress to retrieve the ruby, and they're expecting a great deal of bloodshed, probably unavoidable, but they are willing to take this on to retrieve the Heartstone. Kalman Rodenfell put to you that if you want the elves to restore the body of your fallen comrade Velas, who they very much do not want to restore the body of, that it would probably require a great gift on the order of one of the Heartstones of Legend, and that is the one that he knows about. So he tipped you off that they would be assaulting the fortress in about 2 weeks. It has since been a few days, so you've got probably a week and a half before the planned assault takes place. And if you can somehow figure out how to acquire the Heartstone, you can probably save a lot of bloodshed on both sides and potentially use it as a bargaining chip to get your friend Velas back. Remind me where her heartstone is. It is left with someone, or you are carrying it along with you?
I think Grunrock has it.
I have it.
Grunrock is carrying it. Okay. So the green creepy heartstone.
Hey.
So
hey.
it was
offense,
It's
Amy.
with the green creepy guy. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Cool.
okay.
So, without further
I think
ado,
I'll stuck it in my hat if we're getting technical.
it is overcast. There is faint, distant thunder, and the mountains loom ominously to the southwest, just a few kilometers away from you. It is still early summer, and it is warm and muggy. The insects in the dank wood are buzzing all around you. Your shoes are muddy, and your clothes are filthy from trudging your way across multiple muddy river deltas to get to where you are. And it is... I'm going to see if we have the time of day here. It's daytime. So I'm going to assume your camp is packed up and you have a quarter day at least here to travel or take actions if you wish. Oh, and to our viewers, in case you were wondering, Adam is coming. He is running a little bit behind, so he's just going to be jumping into the session shortly. He is not absent, just late. So we're kicking off without him. We probably have at least a few travel rolls to do before we get too deep into anything, so I don't think he's going to miss anything too wild. So, Elric, hello. Welcome back. Always good to have you here. And without further ado, take it away. I'm going to get the music kicked up while you all discuss what you want to do.
I actually have a clarification question on some notes.
Sure.
So Empress Soria.
Yeah. I think you have some very old notes of her because you got rumors of her like way back at the beginning of the campaign.
Yeah, so she's human. Is what I have here. In the notes, it is whispered among the Aesir orcs and the drifters that the orc Empress Soria is actually a learned human female who has nestled herself in with the Urher clan in a fortress called the Eye of the Rose.
That is what you've heard, yes.
Okay.
That is what the Rust brothers had heard.
That's what the Rust brothers had heard.
Yep.
And then he gave her... Emperor Haraka was ensnared by her, and he gave her an invaluable cloak clasp, which is set a living elven ruby, which is what we know already from various other things. Okay. I was thinking that she was an orc the whole time.
Well, the Urher clan believes her to be an orc. So when you cross-reference this knowledge,
Dog's knowledge.
Dog has been studying the customs and rumors of the Urher clan to try to get to know more about them, which you specifically called out quite a while ago. So you believe her to be an orc.
Okay.
And
that's
the party has heard that she's actually a human. So now you have conflicting accounts at your disposal.
Because my notes has Empress Haraka.
Yes.
But I guess that's like, she's married, her married name or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it had orc. Okay, that's what I wanted to clarify.
Yeah, you also know that the Urher clan has strange customs. I can tell you a little bit about what you've learned about the Urher clan since you've been specifically studying them for some time as Dog because of your interest in them. They have strange customs for orcs. And from what you understand, they are trying to establish a civilized empire to prove to the world that orcs can do it. And they have been making attempts to trade with neighboring duchies with mixed success. They have, and you know that the Urher orcs, for orcs, they dress very strangely from your perspective. Almost like they're trying to imitate human fashion to a degree.
Is it strange compared to human fashion as well, or is it?
It feels
strange?
like a strange, bad attempt to mimic human fashion.
Okay.
So they tend to look somewhat silly from your perspective.
Okay.
No, this could be good. We could certainly use that to our advantage. I mean, if she is a human and she doesn't want them to know, that can only help us.
I mean, they could just believe that she is an orc. In general, they've seen her. That supposedly she gives speeches and floats in the air with the help of this amulet. It could just be that they believe her to be a true-blooded orc despite her appearance.
Yeah, but a heartstone shouldn't give you the ability to float. I mean, right?
I only just found out about the Heartstones at the start of this latest adventure. So, far as I know, they do more than what regular rocks do.
Grunrock, can you float?
I'm gonna try to float. I'm gonna do a little hop and think Veloz to make me fly.
Roll no dice. Fail to float.
Maybe you can only do stuff that the person whose Heartstone it belonged to could do. Quick, try stealing something.
Grunrock face plants.
Oh dear. This is a wonderful start.
The dirt still tastes better in the shroud. Anyway, as much fun as extorting a warlord's wife sounds, I think that should probably be the last resort. I
So
don't
what
exactly think we can walk in and say, hey, we need your Heartstone, but I can't imagine we'd get close enough to say, we'll reveal you're a human, without the guards already being on top of us. I'm kind of sneaky, but
Maybe we can attempt to seek an audience and give them information about the Mild clan that they might want to know. Or we could just tell them that the elves are coming to take back this area and get the stone from them in exchange for protection.
That's also not a bad idea, but why would they believe that we were spokespeople for the elves? I mean, I don't dislike your idea, and it's got, it rings a bit of truth, and that's always helpful when you're lying, but they don't have any reason to believe that we would speak for the elves.
It's the only sort of bargaining chip I could think of.
Does anyone have anything worth trading?
to be fair, knowledge about the Iceer orcs might be worth something to them. I mean, your clan is pretty well known for being warmongers.
X-Clan.
Fair enough. Besides, I have no love for them either. I mean, I'd even volunteer to fight in a skirmish with them. Not that they'd take my sword.
Other than rumors of where he buried some treasure and their latest failure in getting into the Dwarven city, I don't know anything.
Well, but if this clan's trying to mesh with the humans, I don't know. Maybe if we help them rout your old clan, it gains them some favor.
Well, you guys had some favor amongst the dwarves, yeah? I mean, I know they were seeking to be more like humans, but if you know the what was it, Prince, King of the Dwarves, then I mean, like maybe you could introduce them and they could parlay. That could be something.
Josh, the elves are coming to take this tower back, to take this fortress back, right? You're muted.
The elves are coming to retrieve the stone.
Okay, so they're not trying to take back the fortress.
They shared none of their plans about how they plan to go about this. You just know that the Red Runners are coming and that they have an attack planned in a couple of weeks. Kalman Rodenfeld didn't share what that was going to look like.
But the supposed assault was to get this stone.
Yeah, that's the reason
I thought
for
the
it.
assault was to take back because this used to be an elven.
It did.
Territory.
It did.
Yeah.
The Red Runners' mission is to retrieve the lost Heartstones, and they believe the rumors to link to one of them, and they plan to try to get the Heartstone back. To your understanding, that's the purpose of the assault.
Well, I mean, I think we got our best foot forward here. You know, we request a trade for information and future connections. It's not a bad start.
I mean, we can always act as unofficial emissaries to the Dwarven Kingdom and perhaps open up negotiations. I don't think that would be worth them giving up the stone directly, but also maybe letting them know that the Red Runners are coming to retrieve the stone, and if they can give it up or give it to us, we can prevent what's coming.
Yeah. Sounds like as good a plan as any. I don't really know what else we would do. Now we just gotta find the damn place.
Who's gonna be our voice box? Who's gonna be the one speaking?
Amy talking. Do we think this will be like a manipulation thing? Because there's not persuasion.
When we also Bill talking, do we also have to take into consideration maybe things coming directly from an orc might be more believable than from a human?
Yeah, I mean, maybe my manipulation is 7, though.
No, for sure. I don't think it would be manipulation because we're being honest. Like, we're not. I mean, I guess it would be manipulation if that's the only kind of persuasion role.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a DM question.
If you do something,
Persuasion.
if in the course of your spoken argument you make use of your orc heritage or orcish knowledge in a way that seems like it would apply, I'll give you anywhere from 1 to 3 additional dice on the social roll, depending on how impactful it seems like it would be.
Okay, what would the social role be if we are being completely honest? Is it still manipulation?
Manipulation is a very broad skill. It's kind of the charisma-based negotiation skill. It has a name that makes it seem sinister, but the description of it is that it is kind of the catch-all skill for trying to change someone's mind using charisma, for the most part.
Okay.
So don't be bothered by the skill name.
3 would put me at 6 because I have a manipulation of 3.
Mm-hmm. If you're straight up acting, putting on a ruse, trying to mislead people, it's going to be performance. If you are trying to persuade or change someone's mind with argumentation or honeyed words or that type of thing, it's going to use manipulation. And then you've got your standard other ones. Oh no, it looks like it mostly goes into those. I was thinking there was an intimidate skill, but there's not. Yeah. But yeah, manipulation is broader than it sounds like.
Okay. Yeah, I think then, Amy, it would be you. I can probably offer an assist as far as chiming in with orcish knowledge and arguments to give you a +1 or something, maybe, potentially.
Mm-hmm. The description for manipulation says there are many methods to make another person see things your way. Make an opposed roll. Blah. That's like literally all it gives you to go on. So
Okay.
it's very broad.
Okay. I think persuasion, I would like the name of that better, but it sounds like manipulation.
I agree, because manipulation is a pretty narrow term, or it's more narrow than the description of the skill sounds. But yeah, it's the catch-all persuasion skill.
Okay. Then, so you are gonna do the talking.
What you hired me for?
Are you paying her, Rock?
I'm not paying her. Maybe Ralgar.
If he would ever get back from wherever he went sniffing.
Maybe. He's looking for truffles. Oh, wait, he's not a pig. He's a dog. He's looking for... He buried a bone and can't remember where he left it.
I know I buried a bone over here somewhere.
All right, so in the interest of keeping things moving, you have not found the Eye of the Rose. So there's that whole thing.
Yeah, we were walking and talking.
Yeah, it's daytime. You've got a quarter day to do whatevs before you even need to start setting up camp or anything. So would we like to do some travel-y rolls?
Southwest.
All right.
Towards the peaks.
Standard rolls. We have our lead the way courtesy of... I don't remember who normally does that.
Me.
Okay. And then who's Scouty McScouterson?
Grunrock usually at this point.
Yeah, you're muted, Hank.
It's either Grimrock or me.
You can elect whoever you would like to have doing it here.
It's being weird. I'm pretty sure it's me.
Okay.
There it goes. I got it fixed.
One success.
Nice. Success on lead the way. What direction are you going on the map?
Southwest.
Okay. Cool.
Towards those mountains.
All right. Boy, do I have news you're going to love.
I'm scouting.
You're scouting? All right.
More mountains.
No, it's another river.
Oh, attack on it.
Yeah, it's great. One sec. I'm trying to... They changed the... Whoops. Hold on. They changed Roll20 so that... There we go. You have to toggle it to polygon mode now. They redid all the buttons.
Have you seen the thing that they added where, obviously it's not really relevant to us, but like when players move closer to things, you can have it to where things get revealed, like faded in, revealed based on like a value, like their perception and stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. You have found the edge of the Dankwood, the western edge of the Dankwood for the first time. The forest starts to become less dense, and you come out into some like muddy, rolling, moorish looking plains. And up ahead, you see a huge mountain range just rising up on the far side of this river. And I believe you know this river to be called the Coldwater because somebody told you about the rivers that you would encounter along the way back before you set off this way. So you have reached the Coldwater, which is the river that dances along the foothills of the thinned mountains. So you see huge, tall peaks rising up from the far side of the river. It's just a massive mountain range looming, and the river is traveling along its base. The Coldwater, true to its name, is an icy cold river. It is about half the width of the two that you just crossed, but it will still be a pain with horses and whatnot. It is only about 40 or 50 feet across, and because you are entering into a new hex here, I'm going to do a quick encounter roll to see if anything has happened. Nope. No encounters. You've just Traveled through the wilds, encountered nobody. You can now see that those mountain peaks that I revealed on the map, I'm not going to reveal more right now because it's kind of a pain in the butt, but beyond those peaks are even taller peaks beyond them. This is a multi-hex deep, huge mountain range that rises up and then up again. It's going to be quite a time.
And the city that we're looking for.
It is somewhere. All you have been told is that it is somewhere in the southern reaches of the Thinned Mountains.
Okay.
And you have come to the cold water here. Because this is a narrower river, you can search for a ford with a lead the way roll if you would like to make one to travel along it and look for a fordable place.
Okay. So
the rivers are the highest in the springtime, so you can actually see that the river is a little bit lower than the highest part of its banks, so you might be able to find a ford somewhere.
And this is a lead the way roll?
Finding a ford is a lead the way roll, yeah.
Okay.
But it's also, yeah. You can actually go ahead and do it during the same quarter day because the hex that you just traveled didn't take up the whole thing. Yeah. So okay. I'll give you one opportunity to do that. It comes with the usual risks. Nice. All right. You do find a fordable place. You are going to be wet, and if you ford the river, you can get everybody to the opposite side of it, but the drawback will be that you will get wet with icy cold water from the cold water river, and you will have to each make endurance rolls to not become cold. Should you choose to cross here. You can look for a better crossing should you want to avoid doing that, or you can just take the ford here and get to the other side and get wet.
I'm fine with crossing. What are people's endurance rolls? Because I have an animal fur that gives you +2 for specifically against cold. All right, Zoe. I take my sleeping fur off and I just wrap it around you.
Thanks, buddy.
Are we crossing? Everyone
all right?
That?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I guess I'll go first.
We're crossing together, yeah?
Yeah, but in case I start to drift away, I want somebody close. My feet don't touch the ground as good as yours.
Can I not put Grunrock on top of my shoulders and he doesn't get wet in this ford?
If you want to attempt a might roll.
As long as I don't end up dangling between y'all's hands, I'm fine. I can walk it. I just be like the kid with 2 hands.
If you fail the might roll, you will both get soaked and automatically be cold. If you succeed, you will both be across.
All right.
And he gets to not have to make the endurance roll.
Well, he's just a small character, so I was just wondering, like, why he couldn't sit on my shoulder. I mean, how tall is Grunrock? Like 3 feet? I'm no athlete, but I could put a 3-foot person on my shoulders and fjord a river.
Zoe, tired of all this talking, goes ahead and stomps across the river. She gets to the other side and she's freezing cold. She's probably cursing the whole way.
Probably.
I'm also cold.
Oh, wow.
Can I push this roll?
No, I don't think so.
I only try and do it for the willpower.
I know. Grunrock, you're fine. You're tough. You're used to this kind of nonsense. And I'll go ahead and roll for our Wolfkin companion here.
He's digging his way across the river.
Oh, sorry. Ignore that.
Dog?
I saw a button and I didn't know what it means, so I clicked it.
Hey, he's good. All right. It's nice he won't return to the session and be frozen to death. All right, you have successfully crossed the Coldwater River. The process of searching for a ford finished out the quarter day. So you are now on the far side of it, at the base of the thinned mountains, looking up and hoping to be able to find the Eye of the Rose somewhere up in here. Mountain terrain is real tough to traverse. You're in some low mountains here. Just coming into the base of the range. It is evening time now, and you are still in this hex where the cold water is. Would you like to set up camp in the evening, or would you like to press on?
We should set up camp.
All right.
We
No
should definitely
reason to
set up
climb
camp.
the
We got
mountains.
somebody cold. 2 people cold.
All right. Go ahead and do a make camp roll. The cold effect I will pull up here.
As long as it doesn't affect my make camp roll.
I can help make camp.
Okay, during the evening time, if you are cold, make an additional endurance roll. If you fail, then you will lose a point of strength and wits.
Is that at the start of eating time before I make camp?
Yeah.
Okay. Nope.
Good lord. All right.
You said strength and wits.
Yeah, 1 point of damage to each. You're shivering as you struggle to make camp and get dried off.
This could be very bad for me, as I have 1 strength left.
Didn't
Wait,
somebody
were
throw furs on you or something?
Yeah, but that still
Why do
puts
you-
me at 4 dice.
Why do you have 1 strength left?
I guess I got damaged or something earlier. I have a damage to my strength and my wits from the last session.
Oh.
Go ahead and roll it. Once you have a campfire from an established camp at the end of this quarter day, you can warm up and be rid of the cold conditions. So, because you're not being rained on, you are just... Oh, nice. Okay, you didn't take damage. So now let's get our make camp roll from whoever's doing it.
Okay. Zoe's helping me, and I have a large tent. Gives me +2 on the gear.
Nice.
Thank you for that fur. That is the dice that pushed me.
No worries.
All right, cool. And that will get rid of the cold conditions.
Sweet.
You have established camp. Let me see if there's any encounters.
Is there music playing from...
It is beautiful, beautiful birds coming from Sirenscape. Sirenscape. Your
Oh, there
one-stop
it
shop
is.
for all your sound needs.
It was low.
for me earlier? So I wasn't getting anything.
I just bumped it up a little. All right. Right. So, you've established camp. It is nighttime. Who's keeping watch? Glenrock? All right.
It's me. I'm watching.
It's ye. All right, please hold. Your camp is important to us.
Who's us? The skeletons that are about to attack?
Yeah. Technically zombies. JK, JK. Let me get some
Zombies.
appropriate music going here. Glenrock. You're at the base of the mountains, watching the river, watching the moonlight reflect off of the river down below the cold water. You can see a reflection of the stars above you. Out of the corner of your eye, You think you make out splashing in the water. You look in that direction and nothing. And then from another direction, rustling in some bushes. Then you're wondering if it was just your imagination. Then you see a silhouette highlighted by the moonlight of a tall, humanoid female striding up towards your camp from the direction of the river to the northwest. Taking slow steps, a few at a time, pausing. You see just a faint reflection of the moonlight in her eyes. They just look like two little pinpricks of light out in the distance. You can clearly see that she has a long curved sword at her hip. She tilts her head a little bit, strides a little bit along the river, crouches down. Seems to be circling your camp at a perimeter, eyeing you up. She is looking towards the campfire, looking towards the tents. You're not sure if she's seen you, squatted behind a rock on the lookout. But there's clearly a woman circling her camp, checking it out. She is in the open. She seems to be trying to be quiet, but she is not actually stealthing to the extent that she gets to roll a stealth roll. She's sort of crouching down, approaching quietly, but she's not taking cover, she's not crawling, and she's not directly approaching the camp. She seems to be sizing it up from a distance of about 50 or 60 feet back.
And I still can't tell if she's seen me or not.
She doesn't appear to have.
Okay, I wanna sneak into. So, are we on like a clearing? Is there any tree cover? Is it foliage or?
I'm assuming that you are nestled next to a rocky outcropping overlooking the river. You would put your camp somewhere that it's somewhat concealed.
Okay, so she can see the fire. Is there something kind of on the outskirt of the camp, but not necessarily in between, but adjacent to the pathway she's ambling along, that I could try and hide in or hide behind?
Your goal is to get a closer look?
My goal is to get a closer look, but stay somewhat close to the camp.
Yeah.
I want to be able to raise an alarm if need be, but I want to try
Yeah.
to see who this is and what she's doing.
Moving locations without drawing her attention to you will be a stealth roll.
Two successes, one skull.
You scoot up to another rock quietly and poke your head up over it. You see her scanning the camp, and then her eyes lock with yours from a distance. She sees the reflection off of your eyes. You've seen each other. She stays quiet. She stands at the ready with one hand on the hilt of what appears to be a long scimitar.
Turnabout's fair play. I'll step out from behind my rock and put my hand on the hilt, the same as hers, and just keep eye contact.
She stands up straight, gets in a combat pose, but doesn't draw her weapon, and slowly watches as you approach, sizing you up.
I'll get within reasonable talking distance. I don't want to have to shout and wake the party up, but I still want to be, obviously, a shout worth of, hey, guys, get up, if necessary.
Mm-hmm.
You have good eyes. Why are you here?
This didn't look like a goblin camp.
There's a goblin in it. Does that make it a goblin camp?
I say it does.
Then I guess it is.
What's your name?
Why are you here?
I'm keeping an eye on the environs in this area. I'm wondering, are you merchants? Are you marauders? Are you looking for trouble?
Not looking, but it does tend to find us every now and then.
She turns and looks toward the camp, and you can vaguely make out the shape of elven ears poking up, highlighted in the moonlight.
How old are you?
Older than you can imagine.
Are you a red runner?
At this, she pauses for a second. She takes like a half step back, like she's got to size you up freshly. She folds her arms for a second. Maybe.
Last I checked, you were or you weren't. I didn't know there was like a training camp.
She glances up to a nearby like rocky outcropping, and she makes a signal like this, and you see three little shadows with their heads popped up over the rocks pop down. She turns back to you.
You brought friends. Smart.
Many friends. My name is Mergoline. I am on my way to the Eye of the Rose. Where are you headed, little goblin? Or are you lost?
Honestly, a little bit of both. We have a destination, but I'm not quite sure how to get there. Why are you going to the Eye?
I have business with the leadership.
The orc one or the human one?
I'm not sure what you mean by that. The fortress belongs to the Urher clan.
Yeah, right. Sorry. Old stories about crazy elves and human love. Get a little confused every now and then. I've been in the woods for a while.
Who are you traveling with?
Well, a dog, and a human.
Your dogs have their own tents.
One does. Listen, Mergoline, my name is Longtoe. We're out here trying to find our way through the mountains. We also have an appointment with some leadership. But we're not trying to run afoul of you or what you're doing. Quite frankly, you skulking through the riverbank and kicking rocks is the only reason I was coming out here to take a peek. I have no quarrel with you. My friends are just trying to get some sleep.
So you're bound for the Eye of the Rose as well?
Maybe.
Care to
Honestly, I just kind of go where they tell me. Night vision's handy.
care to share with me the nature of your business?
I heard there's an orc that can float. And one of the dogs we travel with has green skin. He's looking to join up.
You're all
There's a
headed...
peddler who might want to hawk some wares. Honestly, we're just kind of a group of miscreants, I suppose.
Your green-skinned dog friend has a retinue who are going to help him pay lip service to the Empress to try to get into her good graces, and this is the purpose of your journey?
Yeah, just about. Listen, I understand the whole don't destroy the environment thing. Elves are all halfway to druids anyway. I have no intention of wrecking the riverbank. Honestly, I just wasn't sure you were real.
I wonder myself sometimes.
If you're real or if I'm real.
If I am. It's been many centuries I've walked this earth, and it's gotten to be a stranger and stranger place the entire time.
What's the weirdest part?
And I'll kind of sit down on a rock.
Probably goblins. She makes a signal like this. She says, "My group and I will stay out of your way and let you get on with your business. Just be careful. The Urhur orcs are unpredictable. And the Emperor himself, he can be quite dangerous."
Trust me, I believe you on that. Hey, you wouldn't happen to have any, rough directions, would you? I know you said you'd let us go about our way, we'll let you go about your way, but honestly, I don't quite know how to get there. And between you and me, they're kind of looking to me for guidance. I'm charging them a whole lot more than I really should.
Between you and I, it might be better for you and your party if you steer clear of the Eye of the Rose for at least a few days. It's the only warning I'll give you.
Listen, Mergeline, was it? Respectfully, I can't. We've got to go there as soon as possible. So if you could just give me a rough point at a pig trail, I'd appreciate it. You don't even have to say anything. I can see your eyes. Just look where I need to go. We'll pretend it never happened.
She is going to take a few steps away like she's going to walk away, and then she'll turn back and look back over her shoulder. She gestures towards a particular peak about a hex and a half away from you. It says, "Nestled high in a cliff, right on that peak, you'll find an old ruined town with almost no one in it. Rising up from that, a stony precipice where you'll see the ruins of the fortress. You really can't miss them once you get close."
I appreciate it. Trust me when I say you've saved some lives tonight.
And I'll stand up
Drink?
and I'll offer her a water skin.
Quite all right. That won't be necessary, but thank you. She, gestures goodbye to you. She walks off into the dark, around a little rocky precipice towards like an outcropping of trees off in the distance, and with like thick underbrush at the base. And she just disappears into the underbrush, and then after a moment the underbrush stands up, and you see the silhouette of a huge ent rising up with her on its shoulders. And it goes stomping off on all fours. It like bends over in kind of like a quadruped pose and goes stomping off and crunching its way up through the mountains with her riding on its back. And when you glance back up to that peak where there were other figures watching, you see shadows just darting across the peaks and disappearing farther up into the ridges in the same direction that she's going.
I'll watch until I lose track of the ant,
Mm-hmm.
and then quietly make my way back up to the camp,
Okay.
keeping, I guess, an extra eye peeled for if there's any more movement.
Sure.
Because she wanted to be seen, I think. There's probably more that don't.
All right, you make it back to your companions.
I'll resume my seat at my post and try and let them get a good night's sleep. Both of them were pretty cold,
All right.
and they'll need their energy.
The rest of the night passes uneventfully. Dawn.
I feel warm.
Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, thanks for the sleeping fur. It was delightful.
Don't make any sudden movements. We had elves on that ridge. And I'll glance my eyes up towards where they were.
Okay. Now sun is shining on those mountain peaks, and you see no one up there.
I don't see anybody.
Yeah, they left about 4.5 hours ago.
What did they want?
Honestly, I think they were trying to warn us, keep us away.
They say why?
How do I put this? They're going to the Eye of the Rose within the next couple of days. And my new friend thinks it would be beneficial if we weren't there.
Are they like with the Red Runners?
Maybe.
I didn't realize there was an option that wasn't yes or no. Is there like a training camp or something?
That's what I asked her. She didn't say anything.
Well, that's just rude.
I thought the Red Runners weren't going to be here this soon.
Well, it may or may not be them, but there was a bunch moving quietly. And I don't think I've ever seen an int sneak around, but there definitely was one last night.
What's an int?
You remember those giant tree things that gave us these acorns?
Yeah. There was a tree walker around and that didn't wake us up? That's crazy.
Crawling, but yeah.
It was a couple 100 feet away.
How do you think that you get, like, reborn into a tree? You think that's a thing, dog?
Do the probably just an elf thing, I guess.
Man.
Do the Red Runners have any kind of iconography or notable patches or anything normally? I mean, we saw a chunk of them with Kalman recently.
Yeah.
Do I remember seeing any patterns or anything?
Let me check a note or two real quick. You can keep discussing while I try to figure out an answer for you.
For what it's worth, I kind of got at least some direction from her.
That's sick. Do you know where we're going?
I turn around and point at the peak that she indicated.
That peak, there's kind of flattening where there's a ruined town. Above that is the fortress. She said once we get there, it'll be hard to miss. That's if she was telling the truth.
There are some hallmarks.
Sure this isn't a trap.
There are some hallmarks of Red Runners, but it will be a challenging lore roll. So a lore roll at -1 die for you to know.
Or for me to know, or for Grunrock saw her, so I don't know what
I know. He only saw a silhouette in the dark. He didn't get a whole lot of detail. But for anybody to know what the hallmarks of Red Runner's appearance are, is a lore roll at a -1. Anyone who likes to can attempt it. You don't know.
I know that Ralgar has a lot of knowledge about this.
Dog fails because that's the negative die that got the success, so that's a -1 success.
Yeah. But Ralgar for sure would know something. With his 7 dice.
Grunrock got
I'm
it.
pretty sure I also failed because I hit
No,
it.
you didn't
Well, I don't
succeed
know.
on your negative
You
die.
succeeded.
Yeah. Grunrock just straight up knows. Grunrock. Red runners are usually equipped with swords or bows, from what you have seen. And they're trained combatants, and those are their 2 favored weapons. They have distinctive iconography that they often wear. They like to carry dried flowers, dried starfish, and red star-themed jewelry. But you had no opportunity to see any of these things in the dark in silhouette. So you would recognize in daylight if somebody was wearing the iconography of the Red Runners. The weapons align with what you might expect, but it's not enough to confirm or disconfirm one way or the other. The weapons do not disconfirm that they could have been Red Runners, and you were unable to see iconography because it was nighttime in the dark. You can actually, with your night vision, I will retroactively give you a scouting roll to see if you noticed anything of the sort.
I don't know if this is relevant, but could my pride factor into this?
Eyes of the Night?
Yeah. I mean, I already got 1 success. I don't know if another success.
I'll let you... There is more to be learned from multiple successes. So if you want to apply your pride here to try to get more successes, you can. It's always up to you if you want to try to risk it or not.
I'll risk it.
Okay. Wow. Woo! Went from 1 success to 4. All right.
You saw her social security number.
Yeah. In the moonlight, you made out a lot of trinkets and things that she was carrying. She had multiple of the telltale signs of a Red Runner. She was wearing trinkets around. She had a red star embroidered on her cloak that you made out in the moonlight. Also, you noticed an additional detail with your additional successes from the Pride, which is that she had a distinctive and odd necklace on that had 3 copper figurines of little humanoid, almost like stick figure wicker people, but made out of like shiny copper metal. 1, 2, 3 of them on a necklace around her neck. Something very unusual. You've never seen anything like it. I'm going to AFK a second to take a bathroom break and grab a drink. I'll be back in about 2 or 3 minutes. If anybody else wants to take a break, you can. And you can discuss in the meantime if you want to stick around. So I'll BRB.
I think I'm also going to grab a drink.
Okay. Be right back.
It's like super bright when I take my sunglasses off.
I bet. I considered going to get some ketchup, but I also don't really want to eat while we're on stream.
It's fair. It's not my favorite thing either.
I wish we had had this knowledge of her being a definitive Red Runner, and I wish we had that so we could have been like, hey, we have a deal with Kalman for you to like wait so we can try and get this. So maybe you should, I don't know, do that and stop being so shifty.
Yeah, like, I wish he had maybe name dropped Kalman.
I can understand why, because his name's famous, so I imagine all elves would know the name Kalman.
Yeah, but like if you're a Red Runner and you know that like we're trying to do this for him.
Yeah, that would be my thing. Is like, I guess they received the message that this is happening, but not the message that we're gonna be there. Maybe we're part of a distraction for him.
I don't know, maybe.
Like, I wonder if Kalman would honor his deal if he used us as a distraction to get a hold of the stone.
Back.
Hey,
That's like dangerous though.
yeah. Josh, can you remind me, timeline-wise, based on how much time Kalman said, like how long we had to get there? I thought we had like about a week-ish left. Before
Yeah,
Kalman,
or more, yeah.
a week or more of when they're supposed to arrive.
Yeah.
So
That doesn't
would it be-
align with what you heard from...
Right.
Yeah.
Grunrock from this girl. Yes. Okay. Confirm. I was just confirming that was that.
Yeah, that was not an oversight. It did not. What she said did not align with Kalman's attack plan.
Is there, to my knowledge, and perhaps Zoe, since she's here too, a quick form of communication long distance between the Red Runners or just elves in general? Like, do they have carrier pigeons? If I wouldn't know, I wouldn't know. I mean, I did just do a lore roll on the Red Runners and failed anyway, so...
Yeah. Hang on. Using birds or magic are things that you have heard of. It's not impossible for people to communicate over long distances in this world, but it's not common.
Right, okay. So it wouldn't be outlandish to think that the organization used to hunt down Elvish Heartstones probably could have something like that.
They could.
While uncommon,
I mean, it's a world of magic, and you could...
It would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, to use birds to communicate would have to happen between established locations, not just arbitrary places in the wilderness, because you need a place to keep the birds and for them to return to. So that's more of a city to city thing.
Got it.
But other means of communication could exist. They're just not going to be very common. Because they would most likely involve magic. Or just people or creatures that can travel really fast.
You know, I feel like I remember specifically seeing some magic stuff about long distance communication.
People that turn into birds, that kind of thing, you know.
Do I have to roll a d6?
Yeah, absolutely you do. You wake up feeling quite fine. Anyway.
I hope you know that this has haunted her for a long time now.
I do. All right. So.
I hope anyone who watches this knows that, like, if you wondered, like, maybe Josh, like, actually kind of tells them this whole thing's a ruse. It's not. It's literally been months since we've played. I've got no definite idea what this is. I've got, like, my own little tracker keeping track of what I've rolled for D6s. It's everything but a 1. And at this point, I don't know if that will make a difference. Maybe it's all some kind of mind game.
Maybe Josh isn't even a real person.
It's morning. The birds are chirping. The sun is shining. Everything is delightful. The thinned mountains loom overhead. You've been told that a hex or two to the southwest will get you where you want to go, but you're looking up into that terrain, and it is not going to be easy to traverse.
Well, we got to start somewhere.
Let's go!
All right. Lead the way.
Is it a minus for anything because it's
In mountainous terrain, you're just only getting at most a single hex per quarter day. You're also dealing with big penalties to hunting and foraging in this type of terrain, so
got it?
you better be
Okay.
set for whatever you're going to do. And high mountains are straight up impassable, and it looks like this mountain range probably has some hexes or portions of hexes that count as impassable barriers. But you're getting into like regular old mountainous terrain here that is going to be difficult to traverse.
That wasn't supposed to be gear. That was supposed to be skill. But either way,
All right. Well, you got a success. You're forging on into a new hex here, so let me get that revealed for you. I see. You have to double click it to open the options now. Thanks, Roll20.
ew.
You indeed. All right. You are now traversing just through a maze of jagged, rocky peaks. You occasionally see little pebbles rolling down. This is like a really... you're coming from a very lush, very damp forest, but this mountain itself seems to be shielded from the mists that float across from the north. And so it is like, for how short of a distance you've traveled, it's surprisingly arid here. It is dry, rocky. There's just little bits of scrubby underbrush. And as you start to make your way up in elevation, the breeze is getting considerably cooler. Please hold. Who's on the lookout?
Me.
Just checking in advance. I'll let you know if you have to roll anything in a second.
What do your shiny eyes see?
Not as much as Velas's. Although she's dead, so maybe more than Velas's.
Currently,
hold a rock up.
Rude!
Maybe that's what happens. You don't fly. You can just see better.
look through the rock.
Honestly, it's kind of hilarious.
Please hold.
Gosh, your hair is doing some cool things.
Is it?
Yeah, I kind of like the bang thing.
It does what it wants. All right.
This thanks.
There is an encounter of some sort. What the hell is this one? Oh boy, we got text.
Remember that time it was a land shark?
Why don't you roleplay among yourselves for about 30 seconds here?
Man,
Sorry, I'm
these
feeling it.
mountains, low-key kind of beautiful, guys. Like, I'm digging the cooler weather. It's not, like, super cold. It makes me feel like it's fall.
Is that a frog? Why is there a frog in the map? Nope, that's just a leaf. Sorry, I thought it was a frog.
I'm honestly surprised you're seeing leaves.
Yeah, right there. Look.
I don't think that's a leaf.
Well, then what the hell is it?
Kind of looks like a frog.
I'm gonna go get it.
That's
No,
a big ass
seriously.
frog.
As I get closer, it turns out it wasn't really small, really far away. Or it wasn't really small, really close. It's really big, but really far away.
That frog's huge!
A harrowing roar
It's the frog!
It's the frog.
echoes through the chasms. It is a howl filled with enormous anger and sorrow. You peek around the next bend and you're met by a terrible scene. 4 soldiers lie slain in a violent battle. Towering above the corpses is a bloody and sobbing minotaur. The beast is leaning over another minotaur, dead, covered in about a dozen arrows. The living minotaur roars its sorrow towards the sky and then turns towards you. Off in the distance, you can make out a cluster of 4 soldiers ducking behind a rock. Small shields, broadswords, leather armor, shaking in their boots, hoping it won't turn its attention back towards them.
Do any of them look like they have bows?
Do we know anything about Minotaur?
Is there a chance that I saw it and we could duck before it sees us?
Multiple questions here. Bill's lore roll question came in first, so lore roll it, Bill.
Nope.
Can we lore roll for dog? For Ralgar, the dog?
Ralgar the dog. All right. Please hold. I'll lore roll for Ralgar.
Two people with 2 successes.
It's actually insane that Zoe knows anything about Minotaur.
I traded with one once.
Is it that far fetched though?
Okay.
I'm wondering if they're intelligent.
You don't have a ton of time to discuss. Zoe and Ralgar both succeed on their lore rolls. I'll tell you what you and Ralgar know. The others do not know this. The legends you have heard say that that minotaurs might have demonic origins. They find pleasure in inflicting gory wounds and beating people and animals to a pulp. They are strong and hardy, and most recommend running from them. It stands up about 7 feet tall, lets out a roar, and then comes like stomping in your general direction. But it is up to you.
Wait. What about my question of like me getting to see it before it saw us? Just to make the argument of it's crying out, and I would have known about it some. Is there any way I can roll to see if I saw it?
If everybody in the group succeeds on a stealth roll.
That's
Easy peasy.
unfortunate.
Easy peasy. 2 successes right there.
That's 1 down. That's 2 down.
1 success.
That's 3
come on.
down.
And dog clearly is off looking for truffles again.
Everybody succeeded on stealth. I can't believe it. All right, you all duck when you hear the roar and stay very quiet. A couple of little pebbles go rolling downhill from where you're standing, and you see the Minotaur turn in your direction like it heard something, and then it turns back towards the soldiers, and you hear a ruckus as it goes charging towards them. You hear armor clanking, shields splintering, and just people screaming. You gonna stay out of it?
Hell yeah!
I'm gonna toss a coin here.
Who are the people that are being ambushed?
I mean, like, the implication
Some soldiers.
is that they killed one of them, and the Minotaur is fighting back, right?
That was my thought. Is like,
I don't like that he got a 1 on a coin flip. That kind of bothers me.
normally you get heads or tails, so it confuses me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
You hear...
What do the people look like? I'm sorry. Well, the people that were fighting?
They were wearing leather armor with small wooden shields and spears. There were 4 of them off in the distance. They're like, they're human soldiers of some sort. You hear just a ruckus as a huge battle ensues. Cries of anguish. You hear just people being thrown about, smashed against rocks, and then everything goes quiet, and you're not sure which side has won. And then you hear the Minotaur let out just a roar and just starts smacking its axe against the rocks. And it picks up one of the bodies and flings it so far that it comes up over a ridge and just splatters against a rock. And you see a body just sliding limply down a rock that is within your field of view, but though you can't see the Minotaur itself. And then you hear the sound of sobbing.
Oh,
Minotaur sobbing or people sobbing?
Minotaur sobbing.
Yeah.
Poor
You
guy.
should stay out of it.
As Henry, I'll have you know, I want so badly to get involved in this.
oh no, Bill does too. I mean, Dog kind of does because it's just like, oh, not everyone a monster.
So it's like,
But it's Grunwell.
So
I
what's
know
your
that we should keep
what's your course of action? Do you want to backtrack and like wait? Do you want to seek another route, which will just require a fresh find the way roll with all of the risks that come associated with that, or something else like approaching or creative options?
So, thoughts?
I'm just throwing out what seem like obvious options, but you can come up with whatever you like.
I mean, I don't think that we should engage the Minotaur. I know we're in kind of a time crunch, so I hate the idea of going back or trying to go around. But I don't know. Engaging the Minotaur is a bad idea.
Backing up is the slow save option because you can just wait it out and then try to pass through near here later when it has moved on. But it will require passing an extra quarter day at least and then scouting ahead to see if it's gone. Finding another route will let you proceed immediately, but it does require another roll, which risks a mishap, or whatever other solutions you come up with.
Nothing in their lore rolls said anything about Minotaur having an understanding of language and being negotiable.
No. They are supposed to be tribalistic, bestial, dangerous, and uncultured. They are rumored to be offspring of demons, and now that you have a little more time to sit and discuss with each other, your friend Ralgar will tell you that... Here it goes. You know, I read once in a book that Zygofer, when he was very young, he got a cow for milking, and he was studying demonology at the time, and he did experiments on it, and it gave birth to the very first Minotaur.
Creepy.
I mean, maybe we could just like try and subtly make our way through, and if he looks like he's wanting to get violent, we don't draw our weapons and don't look threatening, and maybe he continues to mourn the loss of his friend.
I just don't think that'll work.
You're saying try to sneak by, and if he looks at us, leg it?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't want to waste any time.
What are our chances on finding an alternate path?
Higher than us succeeding on stealthing again.
I mean, it's another lead the way roll, right?
Which is what, 7 dice?
Yeah.
To our lowest stealth roll, which is 3.
but another potential mishap still.
It's got to be better than being beaten to death by a minotaur.
And we lose a quarter of a day.
We'll lose a quarter of a day going back.
We don't lose a quarter of a day going forward.
Yeah, we just risk being beaten to death by a minotaur.
I mean, running forward is always an option. He might not even want to bother with us. Chances are he's somewhat wounded, and like I said, I assume he's still crying and mooing over.
So pathway-wise, do we have to go directly past it, or is it just like parallel to where we're going?
It's blocking your path. You're going through narrow mountain ravines. You'll have to make a die roll to lead the way freshly to find a path around.
But is there, as far as blocking the way, there's a way for us to move past him?
It's not
without-
physically occupying the entire path, no, but you'll have to
Okay.
pass very close to it to get through.
I think we might have to risk another lead the way.
Okay.
I don't know if we can get that lucky on stealth again, looking at the dice that we have.
All right. I'm outvoted, so lead the way.
All right.
Sorry, dog. But you succeeded. Hell yeah.
We retreat. We find an alternate path through the mountains. That will conclude the morning's travel. You have traversed this maze-like hex of low mountains. The next hex over is high mountain peaks. You are fairly certain that you cannot cross that hex outright to get to the other side. It is so tall and so treacherous as to be impassable. However, on this side of the ridges, high up, you can make out the fortress rising up out of a high ridge up at the top of the mountain, and you can make out a few branching paths leading up to it. So, you can make your way into the next hex over to approach the fortress. If you were to want to go beyond it and try to cross the mountain range entirely, you would probably be stopped and have to find another way further north or further south to do so. So, that being said, the fortress itself, you see rising up out of a high ridge in the mountains, you see old ruined walls. It looks like it was once a great fortress of sturdy construction, and you can see spires rising up out of it and towers and layers of walls. But what's noteworthy about it is that the tops of all of the walls are very jagged and ruined, like all of the towers have been toppled over and the roofs of all of the fortifications have been knocked in. It looks like a fortress that was scorched and damaged and collapsed in some great siege of ages past, and now it is a shell of the fortress that was once there. But another thing that you notice, seeing it rise up out of the mountain, is that the walls seem to be in almost like a spiraling segments, somewhat resembling the petals of a rose flower in concentric shapes, possibly where it got its name from. You can also see smoke rising from the tower and little wisps of smoke rising from what appears to be a town at the base of the mountain. So you have like a low town at the base of the mountain, and then this ridge rising up, and then on top of the ridge, those concentric walls and collapsed towers and all of that stuff poking up to the highest point at the summit of the mountain. That's as much as you can make out from this distance, but if you have any questions that might be relevant, let me know.
Do we see a path?
Yeah, you see branching paths leading up to that summit. You can clearly see the way forward.
Do we think it will take a a quarter day, or
It's
will
in
we
the
get
next
there
hex over, so
anytime?
it's another hex of travel. Yeah. The travel you just did was morning, so if you do your daytime travel and are unimpeded in getting up to that highest part, then you would reach the Eye of the Rose today. During the next quarter day, if everything goes smoothly. You can make out that there's paths leading up in that direction, that there's multiple of them, that they are branching, that they are kind of trodden down. They're like gravel paths, but they appear to have been kept for the purpose of reaching the fortress in ages past. They're not particularly nice now. There's not like paved roads or anything like that.
I guess we just go for it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
send it. At this point, we still. Once we get there, the best thing we have is talking to her, right?
Yeah.
How big is Zoe, and how big compared to how big I am? Is Zoe a tiny person relatively to an orc of my starving size?
Your starving size.
Well, I'm somewhat muscular, but I look less so because I'm a little bit tall, so I'm not like ripped. All I have to wear is rags, and then the leather armor that I have on. So I was gonna see if Zoe had a spare pair of human pants that maybe I would look more like an orc trying to be a human.
Oh, dude, are you saying you're asking if my pants will fit you?
Yes.
You can make her pants fit you, but you'll have to permanently ruin them for her.
How many pairs of pants do you have?
I mean,
As a trader, do you have any human clothes for sale? As a trader, do you have anything for sale? I haven't seen you with, honestly, anything, so I'm kind of curious.
Oh, all her stuff got stolen at the river crossing, remember?
Everything.
I mean, pretty much. I imagine. I mean, I don't have listed in my inventory multiple pairs of clothes, but I imagine anyone who travels has at least 2 or 3 sets of clothes.
I'll hold up a pair of goblin long johns.
I don't think those are going to be stretchy enough.
But that's up to Josh's
Discretion.
discretion.
You don't like my pants?
You can take some clothes from one of these people and put them on. It will make them unwearable by the person who gave them to you.
I can give you a pair of
Because you'll
pants.
have to rip them to make them fit, and they'll fit funny.
You're gonna owe me a pair of pants.
I intend to buy myself some clothes here in this place. But I will borrow some.
Okay. Here you go.
And I will replace yours. I'll do a couple of cuts along the way to make it look not only stylish, but have it fit comfortably.
Sure.
An orc in ripped jeans. Let's go.
Yeah, they're gonna have like animal claw rips because I'll go with like a knife to look like animal claw since I'm a druid. I'll even take like the
I've got some deer pelt.
I have some boar teeth. I have literally 4 animal claws listed in my thing, so I will take one of those animal claws
Cool.
and make animal cuts.
All right. I'm going to need a couple of rolls here. First of all,
Did Doc just make medieval trip pants?
Anybody who wants to, for kind of trivial information, can make a lore roll. It's for architectural information on observation of the city. Mostly for fluff purposes, but we'll see if anybody gets it. Second, whoever is keeping watch during the day, there is something you might be able to notice with a a hard scouting roll, which is a scouting roll at a -2 dice. So whoever is the keep watch during the day while traveling can make a hard scouting roll to notice something rather hard to notice. And then as you travel, something is also going to happen. But we'll get to that after we resolve these 2 other dice. All right, so that's a no-go on the scouting roll. On the lore roll, those of you that got at least 1 success, the fortress looks to be of dwarven architecture, interestingly. But it has designs on the exterior that evoke more elven sorts of symbolism. So the origins of this fortress are a little bit confusing to you, barring any further specific knowledge. It almost looks like dwarves made a fortress to look elven. And now it is badly fucked up. Okay. Let's get a lead the way roll as we make our way into the next hex here, because you are going to have to traverse mazes of mountain passes as you make your way higher up into the mountains to reach this fortress. There's a lot of branching paths, and the terrain is tough to traverse.
And a lot of crows.
You said another lead the
Oh,
way.
all the crows all the time. Yeah.
1 success.
One might even say a murder.
Murder.
Man,
1 success on lead the way. All right, that'll do it. You make your way up into the mountains without particular incident. However, there's still a chance of a random encounter, so let me check that real quick.
You come across the same Minotaur.
I mean, if I roll Minotaur again, that thing's just charging at you full stop. There's
Hey,
no...
listen.
Because
If
that's
the
just bad
Minotaur-
luck at that point.
If the Minotaur is back, we'll go for it. Minotaur counseling, let's go.
All right. No encounter, no Minotaur. You are making your way up into the mountains. You manage to traverse the difficult terrain and find a path. At some points, it seems like the path is collapsed and you have to find workarounds, but there always are workarounds. And the workarounds seem fairly trodden, like a lot of other people have used these workarounds, like old roads and paths that once were well paved have collapsed and eroded, and but people have still been making their way to the top of this mountain for a long time, and so there seem to always be some alternative paths that end up panning out when you test them out to see if they lead to the right place. You start making your way up into the mountains, and now you come to a little ridge where you have a view sort of similar to what I showed in that screenshot there. Maybe from a slightly lower angle, and you can make out an old ruined town at the base of a huge cliff with the fortress on top of it with a path winding up to it. And as you are taking in the surroundings, a voice from behind you says, "Excuse me."
Mm-hmm.
"Excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you. Are you travelers?" You turn around and you see a man in rags. However, strangely, he has a couple of silver and gold chains around his neck, which you don't expect of a man in rags. It looks like he has once nice clothes that are badly weathered, like he's been outside for a long time. His hair is crazy with like sort of salt and pepper gray streaks through it. It's very wild. He looks weathered, tired, emaciated, slightly mad, perhaps. And he's calling out to you.
Yes.
Are you headed to the fortress?
Yes.
Are you peddlers? Mercenaries?
No.
Marauders?
no.
No.
Emissaries?
No.
Sailors?
Sailors.
Don't you need a boat for that?
The closest thing is peddler.
And I look at Zoe.
Yeah. Why do you ask?
He turns to Dog and says, "For what clan do you hail?"
Nunya, why would you ask something so personal? I don't know you.
You don't look like one of those Hirokas. Well, you do have those silly pants.
I
Oi!
like these pants. What do you want?
He sort of dodges around Dog like he's nervous around him and approaches Zoe instead. You look like a merchant.
Kinda.
I'm a merchant myself, or I was. Things went poorly for me and my companion.
Sorry to hear that.
Are you hoping to trade your wares with the orcs?
Trade something, yeah, I suppose. Why?
My name is Jorg. I'm sorry for being so abrupt. My partner was kidnapped by the orcs.
By the Urhers?
Yes.
That doesn't sound like them. What'd you do?
Oh, they consider themselves to be civilized, but they very much are not. They're all mad, if you ask me. He did nothing. He did nothing to them. Perhaps he offended them or their emperor, I don't know. But they've taken him prisoner. They took all of our belongings. I hardly have the supplies to get to anywhere civilized. I was wondering if perhaps, if you're headed into the fortress, you could perhaps try to find him for me.
I don't mean to be incredibly rude, Jorg. I've got, like, something very important to do there. And if I manage to accomplish that, I will then secondarily seek to find your friend.
Please, I have no supplies. I have no transportation. I hardly know how to find my way home from here. Here. He rustles around in his pockets and he flings 5 silver pieces on the ground in front of you. He says, That's up front.
If your friend was taken prisoner, what makes you think he has any supplies?
And I'm like standing right behind him. I'd like snuck up on him as he was talking to Zoe.
I'm sure our belongings are gone at this point. I just want my friend back so that we can find our way.
What's your friend's name?
His name is Valom. Please, I have more coin than that. Hidden away, but I'll pay you 4 times that much if you get him back to me.
Is this guy legit? Is he being honest about, like, the reason why, like, his stuff was taken, the Urher clan being monsters? I would believe that he would believe orcs are monsters.
Yeah, make an insight roll against his manipulation.
It's not great.
Can I also incite him because I'm talking with him?
Yeah.
He's not
Listen,
a demon.
bud, I have no big
He's
love
not a
of
demon,
orcs.
is he?
2 successes, 2 successes. You detect no deception. You think he is desperate, wants you to get his friend back, and might be sincere about trying to pay you.
Well, I'll bend over and I'll pick up the 5 silver. I'll pocket it. I'll give him some rations. I'll go down and die in rations. I'll see what I can. But I'm not making any promises.
Thank you,
What
thank you.
exactly did your friend say or do to upset these orcs?
Hang
What was
on.
his friend's name again? I'm sorry.
Valom.
Hello.
And while we're at it, what's your name?
George.
He said his name is Jorg.
His parents couldn't afford the E to make it George, so that's why he became a merchant, so he could get a full name instead of just going around Jorg.
Give me 1 sec. I'm just checking a detail before I give you... All right. Uh-huh.
I swear my notes are like a fever dream.
So you've asked him
Asked-
what he and his... Go ahead.
Yeah. I asked him,
What specifically did you and your friend do to upset these orcs? I
As-
want to know down to the letter.
As near as I can tell, we were welcomed into the marketplace. We were invited to trade. We were sung the praises of Emperor Hiroka and his mercy and his kindness and his willingness to trade with all the peoples of the Ravenlands. And then we saw the Emperor, and he approached us, and he browsed our wares, and we failed to bow lowly enough, and I was struck across the back of the head, and my partner, he was struck as well 3 times on the back, and then he spat at the feet of the Emperor and was thrown in prison, and I was exiled, and all of our wares were plundered for dishonoring the Emperor, and for not paying him the due respect, though I still don't know what customs would have been acceptable to him.
Having been learning my best about their customs and stuff, does this level of bowing and all that stuff sound like the Emperor kind of expects you to grovel a little bit?
Most orcs wouldn't have the patience with all of these social norms. They would just straight up kill people that piss them off. However, this also doesn't read as particularly civilized either. This sounds a little like orcish barbarism wrapped in the clothing of human snobbery.
How low did you bow? If we want to save him, we gotta not do what you did.
Well, we both tried to bow as low as we could. We were simply mimicking what those around us were doing, but it also felt as though we were being mocked by the guards around us. I'm not sure anything we could have done would have been sufficient.
I actually kind of believe that.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what we can do.
Thank you. Please take those coins. And he nudges the coins towards you in the dirt. The 5 silver.
I'll pick them up, I guess, and stick them in my pocket.
Okay. All right.
Oh, Georg,
Uh,
careful in the ravines. There's Minotaur around.
He looks nervously down the mountain path and he gestures towards a little clearing off to the side. He's like, there's a little shelter over there. I might wait a day or two to see if you return. I don't particularly want to try to traverse these mountains on my own. I'm not the survivalist of the group, and I might make it out, but I don't trust myself. I'll wait and see if you return.
That's a good idea.
Well, let's push on, I guess.
I truly wish you the best of luck.
Me too, bud. Me too.
All right.
Move on.
All right.
He made fun of my pants.
He made fun of my pants.
Do you want them back after this?
No, but they were still
Then
mine.
they're my pants now.
Okay, but they were once my pants. I didn't feel like my pants are my
Should the
pants
tailor
bad.
who made your pants be more offended than the both of us?
Yeah, probably.
Probably because I ripped them. That's my fault. They wouldn't fit otherwise.
You make your way up the path towards the peak of the mountain. The city below the cliff, which you can see in that image that I shared with you. The city looks alive from a distance. It appears to be... The houses below appear to be of elven architecture. Smoke rises from fires and creatures are moving among the houses. As you get closer, you notice how all of the once beautiful houses are dilapidated. The gardens have been cut down or left to grow wild, and the populace isn't elven, but multitudes of orcs instead. The fortress of the Eye of the Rose looks down upon the city from the cliff above, from which fabled emperor is said to reside. A terrible stench wafts over your nostrils as the breeze blows in your direction. This city is filthy! And you are just looking down from a nearby cliff, and you can clearly see the path forward anytime that you wish.
I reckon we should go in the morning, yeah?
I doubt we're gonna find an inn.
No, but we could set up camp here.
What we get?
Honestly, well, the ruin's too far back. Yeah, we should probably camp close.
So it is evening, and by the time we would make it to the city, it would be night.
Whew. No, it's you're there, but you're at a distance. You can just walk up to it anytime you want. It would be evening when you approach if you go now, because the daytime got you up here.
So we would be exploring it during the evening.
Yeah, your daytime quarter day was spent getting up here. It's the beginning of evening, and you can basically set foot into the fortress from here and roleplay it from there. We're no longer on travel timetable if you want to approach, but it will be evening when you approach, which in summertime is still light. So the sun is setting in the distance, but you can still see the sun will still be up for a few more hours. And you can approach anytime that you want to.
I leave it up to you two. You mentioned camping over going in now.
Well, I mean, I guess I didn't think about it being... Amy didn't think about it being summer, so the sun is still up.
Bill's also thinking if they have an inn, it probably isn't that great.
Well, they probably won't take us if they have it in.
All right, let's just set up camp.
All right, you're going to set up camp on the outskirts and avoid approaching for now so that you go in a fresh day?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to wait, towards the light, because we're some distance. I'm going to wait until the sun's setting, so it looks like, oh yeah, we just set up camp out here because it was already getting too late.
Sure. So you back off a little distance from the city and find a place to nestle your camp that you won't be directly in the purview of the orcs. And, yeah, go ahead and do a make camp roll then.
I shall help you.
I didn't roll the help, but I didn't need it either.
All right.
I'm sleeping while they do that.
All right, let me see if there's any...
In case that matters.
No encounters. You rest. The sun sets. It is dark. It is clear. The sky is full of stars. The moon is 2/3 full, shining down and silhouetting the fortress in the distance. You can see many, many fires light up in the village below and up in the fortress when it is dark. You hear distant drumming, you hear distant howling and yelling like raucous parties happening, and big columns of black smoke rising up in front of the moon from the huge bonfires that they set both in the town below and up in the fortress proper. The night passes uneventfully, and you wake to a new day. The weather is perfect, clear, blue skies in every direction. From this mountain peak, you can actually see all the way back down to the Dankwood. You can see the shores of Lake Varda. You can actually make out that in that black hex next to the lake, right down here, if you look where I'm pinging, that there appears to be a little inn nestled by the lake down there in that area. There's some sort of structure down there, far off in the distance. You can see that the cold water stretches from northwest to southeast in basically a straight line for many, many miles farther than you can see. And way, way out in the Dankwood, over the tops of the trees, way out in this region somewhere, you can make out a castle popping up, which you presume might be the place where that lord is whose servant you saved from the lake. You're just seeing lots of landmarks from up here because you're way up high in the mountains. I might partially reveal a couple of details here so that you could go seek them out if you wanted to.
I was gonna ask if we have a map, and is there any way we could kind of?
Yeah. I'll mark a couple of things on here while you proceed with playing. I'll
I mean, I'm Night Watch.
here's a castle
Oh.
poking up out of the Dankwood. And here's a little inn with a little surrounding village down by the edge of the lake.
That's probably the castle that one guy was talking about, I would assume.
You also make out a little cluster of buildings here by the side of the river.
Need to roll
So
food
you've
water.
spotted several landmarks down here. Yeah, go ahead and do that.
yes.
I'll make sure this is visible on the stream here. Those things revealed. So yeah, out in the dark, you can make out where there's landmarks that look like structures.
The second we get away from the river, we start running out of water. I swear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time.
I put 2 holes in it so it's faster to drink. I don't know why I keep losing all this water.
Still a 2. All right, let's go into the city.
Woo! So the road that winds up the ridge skims along the outskirts of the city. So it's actually possible to go up the road or into the city, kind of two separate directions. If you choose to go up the road towards the fortress, you will basically skim by the outskirts of the city without approaching very close to them.
Where should we go?
I think we should go through the city.
If we go through the city, we might have to deal with the guards in the city.
Yeah, but I think if we bypass the guards and face the guards at the fortress, it feels like we're trying to avoid something.
We are, but that's fair play. Through the city it is.
I mean, our best bet so far is still to try and appeal to them.
Yeah.
All right.
Unless he's been hiding something worth trading. For a Hearthstone, might I add.
Scrolling.
I still have this 9 foxtail necklace that was left. I
I forgot about that.
Orcs. Yeah.
Are you wearing
Was
it
that also
openly or are
the-
you stuffing it in your
No,
pack?
God no. I was never wearing that. It's been in my pack. That because that's the was that the East that was my clan, the Isildur, whatever, Isildur, whatever Law, whatever that name is, Kevin.
Kevin?
Yeah, the Kevin clan. What orcs left that?
Iser?
The Iser orcs?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'm bad with names.
Yeah, the Iser orcs are the brutal ones that are Grunralk's foes and that
They left the necklace.
that left that chopped up person. Yeah.
I thought the Roka. I thought that was the Roka with the female
Oh.
orcs that were hunting the guy.
You're right. It was Roka for
Okay.
the ritual there, yeah.
That was the first time a random woman approached me in the night and asked where a human was.
Yeah. It's been a minute, I had forgotten. All right. The city below the Eye of the Rose is dilapidated. The buildings are half caved in. Some of them are still structurally sound. Some of them are not. The architecture is quite beautiful, but it is overgrown and dirty, and you are just overcome with a brutally bad stench as you approach. All through the streets, you see orcs. Orcs wearing all sorts of patchworks of human, elven, and dwarven clothing and jewelry. And they are walking about with chest held high, trying to look important. And every time you look down an alleyway between buildings, every time you peek behind a clearing or look at a conversation happening in a little old shop, you see troubling signs. You see alleyway fights. You see brawling. You see just piles of refuse stacked up in between buildings like they have no real idea how to keep their town clean. There are bonfires in barrels just burning in random places in the streets in the middle of the day. You see some orcs just roasting oversized rats over a bonfire in a barrel as you walk by them. All around the town are scattered orc guards. Most of them are equipped with big, heavy scimitars that remind you of the one that Grunralk wields quite a bit. And the guards and the orcs up and down the streets are eyeing you suspiciously. They're grumbling things to each other. You hear them talking to each other in Orcish. And Dog, you hear
I speak Orcish.
they recognize you as a lower caste member. Well, actually, no. You have your attempt to disguise yourself to look like you're trying to ingratiate yourself to them. So, we're gonna do.
Can I put on the fine leather gloves that I have?
Sure. We'll give you a manipulation roll, and we'll give you a +1 gear die for the gloves and a +1 gear die for the pants to try to make yourself look more like a member of their clan and less like somebody trying to disguise yourself who's actually from another clan.
What about my leather armor that I also took from someone?
From who?
Dead guy.
Some dead guy.
Like a dead human?
It wasn't a dead orc.
Okay. We'll cap it off at 2 gear dice, though.
Okay.
Still.
You said manipulation.
Yeah.
+2. Ooh, those gloves came in handy.
All right.
We'll never know.
You blend in fairly well. Your outfit looks absolutely shambled together from a bunch of pieces that do not fit you and do not make sense. And as you are walking through town, you see a lot of other orcs that meet that exact description.
The exact same thing.
Yeah. So you look like you straight up belong here. Although you do not actually recognize any of these particular orcs. They are watching your little group pass through town and eyeing suspiciously, tilting their heads back and forth. But nobody stops you, nobody attacks you, nobody approaches you, and nobody talks to you. You do draw a lot of glances because of the mixed nature of your crew. And those of you who are not orcish in particular, you feel very uncomfortable here. You have known orcs for the most part to be warlike and dangerous, and you are surrounded by way more of them than you could handle if anything went sideways. But
I have a feeling Grunrock specifically was freaking the hell out.
yeah, probably. Grunrolg is not going to like this very much.
He's just like repeating to themselves, like, this is the her clan, this is the her clan.
Uh-huh. But you are basically just getting glimpses of lots of different hideous and lowly orc peasantry all through the streets here. Trying to act cultured, but clearly judging you as you march your way through the streets and see what is really a pathetic attempt at civilization. And you pass through the town. There are guards all along the sides of the road, and they are clearly eyeing you, and as you walk past them, they put hands on their scimitars in case they need them, but none of them stop you, and they let you freely pass through the town toward the road and up in the direction of the fortress. The one thing that is interesting that you see while passing through the town is up against the base of the cliff, but down in the town. There appears to be some like fancy church or chapel with like an intricate copper roof that's a little better preserved than the other buildings. You can tell from the architecture that it's some sort of holy structure. It's got like big fancy archways of like some sort of white marble that doesn't match the rest of the decor in the city. And it appears a little bit better kept than the other structures in town. though there doesn't appear to be much traffic or attention given to it. There's just like a particularly nice religious chapel there that appears pretty well preserved. You make your way to the road, and you can see the path winding up to the gates to the fortress at the top. And you can clearly see, looking up the road, that near the top, as you approach the gates, there's a whole bunch of guards stationed up there, as you might expect.
Just gonna keep going right up to it.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know any other way to get an audience with the Emperor.
The Empress, actually.
The gates.
Yeah, that's the ultimate goal.
The gates of the Eye of the Rose gape towards you like a maw lined with iron teeth. A couple of stout orcs stand guard outside of the gate. There is a portcullis in the middle of the gate, one of those big metal grates that drops down, except it is raised currently. Beyond it, just inside of it, you spot a big, heavy alarm bell on a chain that can be pulled by anybody inside. Outside of the gates, near the clearing, are about a dozen orcs that appear to have put together like a little impromptu market. They've pulled a bunch of carts up together, and they are engaged in trade. There's about a dozen of them, about 3 or 4 carts, and several orcs standing around having conversations, exchanging rusty coins and barrels of wares with each other, and several of them eye you suspiciously as you approach. So you have your little impromptu market. You have your guards standing at the gate.
I'm gonna go up to the guards at the gate, I guess. Hello.
Hail, travelers!
I was wondering if I might seek an audience.
Those guys got big old tusks. Audience with whom?
Emperor Hiroka or Empress Saraya?
Show me your ears. Huh? Not an elf. He's looking over each of you. You want to meet with the Emperor? What business have you that would be worth his time?
I think he would be rather excited to hear of the information that I have.
Oh, yeah?
If I give it to you, then I won't be able to give it to him.
If you don't give it to me, then you won't be able to give it to him.
Fair enough. I have information regarding possible meetings, should he be interested, with the rulers of the dwarves, and also...
Which ones?
The dwarves of Belderan, of course. And Stone Garden as well.
He looks around like he's going crazy for a moment. He goes, "You're not dwarves, are you?"
No, not at all. But we are very valued by the dwarves.
Why is that?
This one here's a merchant by trade and makes deals. And I brought her so the Emperor could speak with her and perhaps set up a trade route between the great new orcish city and Belderan.
Trade route, yeah? Trade route to Valderan. So you're merchants, huh? Are you wealthy merchants? Show me some riches.
Our
That I'm a
riches-
wealthy merchant.
I'll hold up a black rock that's got veins of gold in it, which we all know is golem shit, but I'm hoping that this dude doesn't know that.
Okay, so you've got a bit of gold. You want to establish trade routes.
with the dwarves, but you're not dwarves.
No. I come to propose the idea of introducing the king, or perhaps the emperor, or a delegation to parlay with the dwarven embassy. But I really need to speak with him, actually. If you could set that up for me, my friend.
Are you sure you want to speak with him? Because he only allows a limited number of ambassadors, and if he feels his time is being wasted, things don't go well for the least valuable ambassadors.
Well, I don't believe any of us to be least valuable. But if speaking with Empress Soraya would be easier, I would love to do that as well. I've heard her beauty is unmatched.
Oh, that it is. Why would she want to bother with you?
Oh, I have information that the lady might love to hear. Woman to woman.
Woman to woman. You're not Orcish. You're not even Viraga.
Would
No,
His
but-
Majesty and Her Highness appreciate you speaking for them for all trade delegations, or would he rather speak with us himself?
Thing is, if you're wasting his time, he's gonna take it out on you, and then he's gonna take it out on me.
Yeah.
Well- The Empress is beautiful. Some might say that I'm a little beautiful, particularly my eyes.
I don't see it, I'm afraid. You look ugly to me.
That's alright. I don't think that she would think the same. And like I've said, I've got information for her or Emperor Hiroka.
This is above my pay grade. How about I go fetch Rangagala to speak to you, and he'll figure out if you're worthy of an audience with the Emperor.
Are you just passing the buck so that if the Emperor doesn't think it's worth his time, he doesn't come to you? But if he does think it's worth his time, you're interrupting us getting to him.
He might also reward you for taking us directly to him with the importance of setting trade routes with the largest dwarf city of stone singers
All right.
on the continent.
Now you can make a manipulation roll.
Ooh.
I think Amy's done more talking. She can get a
yeah.
+1 assistance die from.
I'm fine with Amy getting it because she gets more anyways. So
You can get +1 assistance skill die from Bill's help.
sometimes you just need an orc that's just as impatient to talk behind you. That was that +1 right there. You can tell.
Like, oh, I'll accept it.
Well, unfortunately, he takes a deep breath and he looks at you suspiciously. You can push this if you like. But this guy is
Absolutely.
this guy's looking at his buddies, and you see a chuckle spreading through the group like you're about to get rejected, and you have a last opportunity to push it and say something risky if you want to.
You take some damage if you push it, though, yeah?
Yeah.
You've
It's
traveled
up to you
for
guys.
you've traveled for days and weeks only to have the guard be like fuck off. So this is pissing you right off. That's why this is like chewing into your empathy.
You seem to be confused here, Orc. A child of Marikal is not sent away because you deem me unimportant. I have traveled for quite some time to speak to the Emperor. You will get him.
Well, that is indeed risky. Go ahead and make your push roll and see if you get if you push it, it keeps that success, and you need one of those other 5 dice to turn into another one. Oh,
it
yeah.
turned into
Oh
two
yeah. So you gain 2 willpower and you take two whatever it was empathy damage.
empathy.
Yeah, and yeah, you outed yourself as a Marigold child, put it on the line, even though you have no idea how he's gonna respond. And he goes,
Marigold, ain't he that pesky politician? Works with the dark. Oh, I see it now. I've heard the legends. All right. I'll see to it that you get an audience. Just don't put any wicked hexes on me.
Stop wasting my time.
All right.
he signals, and a couple of orcs go running off to fetch somebody. He steps inside the gate.
You're gonna have to wait out here for a little time. So sorry to keep you waiting. Actually, perhaps we can find a place for you. Come.
He ushers you through the gates, and let's see here.
Damn, I'm glad that paid off. Bill, do you remember the Ninth Doctor from Doctor Who when he's like, "Go to your room"?
Yeah.
He's like, "Those would have been terrible last words." That's how that felt. Just then.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. Sorry, I was just looking for a detail here. All right. He takes you into a clearing in the center of the fortress. You're basically surrounded by structures that are half collapsed on all sides. Inside this fortress is a little terrifying because there's just orc armed guards everywhere. There's basically a standing army in this fortress. In this courtyard alone, you can see like 8 to 10 of them patrolling in and out at any given time, and you can clearly look up into the windows of the other structures and see orcs looking down at you, and many other orc, I guess you could call them dignitaries, milling about on official business. And he leaves you standing in a courtyard, like a clearing in the center of the whole fortress. You can make out at the center of the fortress is like a tall, skinny tower that's like partially collapsed. And like I said, you're encircled by different structures. Probably the biggest structure is what appears to be like a large, mostly intact still castle that stands overlooking the entire courtyard. That is kind of in between the gate receiving area and the center courtyard of the whole castle. You're left standing around for a while, orcs marching up and down, eyeing you. And after some time, you are ushered towards the Grand Hall, which is on the west end of the fortress. There we go. Sorry. He leaves you just outside of this grand hall with like big open archways leading to it. It looks like the roof of it is also partially collapsed, and from inside, you can hear a ruckus. You can hear shouting and yelling and things smashing from the direction of the hall. You also hear tiny bells and what sounds like really bad music being played from inside.
He says you're gonna want to wait out here. The Emperor has not arrived for his court yet, but he will soon. He usually comes around sundown to hear out the plight of the people, so that he may enact his goodwill upon them.
And the Empress.
The Empress? She typically joins him, yes.
While we wait, what was the big church-like looking building out there with the copper roof and the marble walls?
You ask him.
I've never seen anything like it before. Yeah.
Some chapel to the old gods. I don't know. It dates back to the time of the elves. We don't pay it much mind.
Ew.
Those gods have no value to us, and clearly they had no value to the elves. Ha ha ha!
Anything further, or you want to wait it out?
Just gonna wait.
Wait it out.
All right. Some time passes, and about 15 orc guards, all in heavy metal armor with scimitars at their sides, come marching down the middle of the courtyard, and traveling in like a protected bubble among them. You see the Emperor and Empress. The Emperor is very tall with big, heavy tusks. He's got a big pot belly. He's like very round, and he is dressed in just wild garb. He has more trinkets and jewelry and patches of different colors and mismatched clothing than you can even like process as he's walking. There's like tassels waving behind him. He's got bits of different types of clothing. You're pretty sure there's big bulky armor under it as well. You hear like metal plates clanking, but it's all covered up in patchworks of cloth and stuff. He just looks like a big shambling mess, and he's just marching along with like a jolly expression on his face, kind of grinning. Next to him is the Empress, and she to your eye, looks to be an orc, but she could almost pass as human. She is tall, and she has kind of a sharp grin on her face as she's walking along just a half step behind the Emperor. She is... one sec. She's dressed in quite beautiful clothes. Sorry, I was looking for details here. There she is. She looks genuinely noble. She has kind of a dark olive-colored skin, deep green-colored eyes that are typical of an orc. Her hair is like black braids pulled tight back on her head. She's got very muscular arms, but a very like lean build. She's wearing a long flowing dress that actually looks expensive, but it's a bit tattered at the bottom, like she's been wearing it for a long time. She has a spear slung on her back with a big skull just below the blade, which is expertly crafted. And she has like a tiara on her head with like a blue gemstone in the center of it. And the king is wearing a cloak, and that cloak has a clasp, and that clasp has a big glowing red ruby mounted on it. Let me give you the full description of what that looks like.
The king is wearing the ruby?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. The Empress is wearing the ruby on the cloak. Yeah. In among her other garb, she has a flowing red cloak. On it is a clasp that is circular. It looks like it has a symbol of a gold tree on it, around a copper circular base, and in the middle of the clasp, right where the tree starts to open up into a canopy, just that huge, glowing, beautiful ruby resting in the center of it. The two of them walk by and pay you no mind. As they are marching through the courtyard, you see jesters pop out on every side, dancing and performing. They have little cymbals on their hands that they're clanging together and dancing and singing. They're very bad. They are none of them are orcs. There are humans, dwarves, and halflings in the mix. They all look filthy. They are wearing tattered old clothes. They all look sad and like they are trying to force smiles onto their faces as they dance around and make fools of themselves for the entertainment of the Emperor and Empress. And as they grow closer and the Emperor and Empress are about to walk through into the big audience hall that you're waiting outside of, these jesters fall to the ground, place their foreheads straight on the dirt, and bow to the Emperor and Empress. They are also walking past you now.
I guess I follow suit. I go to the dirt.
Yeah, I'll copy the jesters.
I will.
You cut out. Sorry, Amy.
Sorry, I forgot that I had pushed to talk. I will also bow.
Okay. All of you bow very low. The king is just sort of waddling along with a jolly look on his face. He pauses and looks at all of you for a moment, like he's thinking. Then and then just keeps on walking, marches straight into his audience chamber, and the guards all funnel in after him. The 2 or 3 guards that escorted you here stay behind with you. And one of them nudges you with the butt of a scimitar and is like, "You can get up now."
Yeah, get up.
You're gonna wanna wait until the Emperor's had his food and then you go on in. He's a bit grumpy this time of night.
Some time passes. Eventually, there's a signal sent to the guards, and he nudges you and he's like,
Best of luck. Hope I see you again.
and he nudges you inside.
Sounds good.
Inside the audience hall, the jesters are still dancing about in the corners. There are many orcs feasting at long tables and just making an utter mess of the place. Let's see. There are 2 other female orcs in long, flowing black robes on either side. They have multiple daggers strapped to their hips, and they are standing rather stoically on either side of the grand hall, looking on at everything that is happening. The Emperor and Empress sit up at the front. The Emperor is just gnawing into a giant turkey leg while going like this and sort of directing the jesters to dance, and they are all exhaustedly dancing and trying to keep up with his half-assed conducting. Let's see. And all of the other orcs in this hall appear quote-unquote better dressed than the ones down in the town below. They're wearing colorful tatters, lots of mismatched jewelry from many different cultures, probably plundered. And the Emperor beckons you forward.
I says, Come, come. I've told your dignitaries from Belleran. Is that correct? You don't look much like dwarves to me.
Not quite dignitaries from Belderan. I said that we were emissaries.
I'm waiting.
My apologies, my apologies. We have some information that we're hoping might be valuable enough for you to consider a trade.
And who am I?
And who are you? You are Emperor Hiroka. I'll take a deep bow.
Emperor Hiroka the First and the
Holy.
greatest.
Of course, the greatest among all the emperors there ever was or ever will be.
All right then. Let's hear what you have to say. But watch it. You're already testing my patience.
My apologies, sir. My apologies. Before I continue, I suppose introductions are in order. My name is Zoe. I'm a child of Marigal.
At this, he sort of gives you a blank stare and blinks a couple of times. The Empress, her eyes go. And she kind of half rises out of her seat and shifts her weight a little bit and then resettles. She's looking at you like a predator looks at its prey.
I am coming hoping, sir, to trade information for something valuable for something valuable. I see how your men have dressed, and they are quite fine. None as fine as you, sir. But I know that trade with Beldoran and Stone Singers would make this mighty land even more prosperous. And I have with me mighty warriors of Beldoran. They were able to seal a dragon underneath a cave system. Their names are written upon the walls in the great city, forever to be known. And we, with them, can establish trade routes for your people and that of Beldoran. And I'm asking this for really something so small and inconsequential. You wouldn't even notice it was missing.
He sort of sits back and he goes,
I've no interest in trading with the dwarves. They have nothing that...
and then the Empress stands up and she says, my love, please, let me handle this. And she steps forward and says, we thank you. We thank you for your kind greetings. Your name is Zoe?
It is.
We thank you for coming to speak to us. The dwarves must think very highly of you to entrust such a vital mission to non-kinfolk. Is that not true?
Perhaps you could say that. But I have more information that I think you will believe is quite valuable. But I'm afraid I must hold it rather close to my chest. I would have to know that you were going to take me up on this offer. I'm going to need something in return. For
What do
I'm
you
about to share
ask?
with you. You wouldn't even know it was missing. That red pendant. The one that beats, glows. I need it. And honestly, it's nothing in comparison to your beauty. You wouldn't even know it was missing.
The Emperor stands up and says,
Do not worry, my love. I'll cut out her tongue and we'll hear no more of this. For what she speaks is heresy. She wishes to rob you of your most precious gift, which I won for you. Yes.
the Empress says, it is all right, my love. I will handle this. You are most right, of course. This is what she deserves. However, I think perhaps she might know something useful to us. Perhaps we could take them all prisoner before having them executed. Perhaps we could discuss this further. Perhaps we could hear what they have to say and see if it's enough to get them out of this predicament.
I have it on good authority that elves are marching here in seeking war with you all. And I would never wish any harm to come to you, great and mighty Emperor Hiroka, Empress Soraya. With that stone, I could take it and I could prevent any misfortune to come upon this city. Their numbers are vast. I've seen them myself.
The Emperor is seething. He's visibly, like, breathing heavily, gripping the handle of his scimitar. The Empress is eyeing you very carefully, like she's sizing you up and deciding whether to believe this. And she says, "Why would the elves attack us?"
Of that I'm not certain. Perhaps the Red Runners seek to reclaim the Heartstone. I'm not sure, but I know that I can stop them. I am powerful. You can trust me. You seem to recognize my father's name, Leonis.
Bloodstar is no filthy elven stone.
And she says, my love, perhaps you should resume your feast. I will have these heretics thrown into prison. I will interrogate them myself, and you will never have to worry about it again."
He's like, I would like to see their guts spilled right here on this floor this very instant.
She says, "I don't think you should dirty your halls with their entrails right now. You've done that quite enough this week, and I think that it is time that perhaps we send a message of mercy. We could take them prisoner, find out everything that we know, find out everything that they know, and then find a way to send a particularly pungent message to the elves. Perhaps some of their heads. Perhaps some words."
What we offer is more than trade. What we offer is more than empty words and potential threats. These Red Runners, as the elves like to call them, think that you have this Heartstone. We can trade it to Beldoran, convince them, elves, that you are in good relations with them, and they have this stone, and then the elves no longer have a reason to attack
Beldoran is
this beautiful
dwarves.
city. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, we can trade the stone to Beldoran through these negotiations. Now you've set up trade routes with Beldoran through this stone that the elves believe is the Heartstone, and then they will go after Beldoran, and now you have a strong alliance against elves with the dwarves.
And we wouldn't seek to do this without, of course, giving you something equally as beautiful. And I'm going to take out the ring of from Crumbella. This ring was found and fashioned from one of the first orc rulers there ever was. He placed it upon the hand of his lady, and she was worshipped. I found it in a cave. I could trade it. You would still have something beautiful.
Take it from them, and all their other possessions. Seize everything they have and throw them in the dungeons.
The Empress stands silently and says, "As you wish, my love." She turns and makes eye contact with you for a moment. You exchange what you can only describe as a knowing glance, and guards close in all around you. We'll wrap the session there. I'm going to do XP. Did you participate in the game session? If so, XP. Did you travel through a new hex? Yep. Discover a new adventure site? Yep. Defeat one or more monsters? No. Almost got in a fight with a minotaur. Find a treasure worth a gold or more? I don't believe you did. Function on your stronghold. Activate your pride. I think Hank did.
Yeah, Hank did.
Suffer from dark secret. I'm gonna give one to Amy because she put it on the line. Did you suffer for it or did you benefit from it?
I benefited from it.
All right. What were you gonna say, Bill?
I wanted to help the Minotaur, but
Yeah.
I got outvoted.
Risk
He's
your
about
life.
to get arrested. Does that count?
Did you risk your life for another player character? I don't think anybody did that this time. And perform an extraordinary action of some kind. I kind of want to... give it to Amy for talking through the guards by revealing her identity. That was pretty cool. And risky. She kind of bypassed a difficult thing by taking a big risk that could have backfired. I'll give Amy 1 XP for that. And we will wrap it there. I don't know what happened to Adam. He was supposed to get on, but we'll get him back next time. We will pick up right where we left off next time. As far as I know, we will resume in 2 weeks on the 18th. I don't think I have anything going on. Is anybody else? You travelings?
I'm in England.
Okay. Will you be back the 25th?
I will.
Okay. We'll probably resume on the 25th. So I will confirm. Yeah, Adam the absent. Henceforth he shall be. Yeah, we will resume on the 25th. Thank you for joining us, Elric, as always, and anybody else who's watching. We will resume on the 25th and continue this drama in the Orc Fortress. So, have a good night, everybody. Till next time.
Night.
Night.